Hey, hey, how's it going? It's time for another live interview tonight. It's with Angel Ruiz, so he'll be jumping on here shortly. I'm just gonna grab some water here real quick. How's everyone's night going? It's been a Monday for here for sure. Let's see, Angel, yes, you're here. Let's get you on. Hey, Ashley. Okay, I'm trying to get you. Here we go. Yay! Angel, what's up? How
Hey,
are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I was so excited to see the post today coming out with you guys wrapping up Beans
Yes.
that last night, right?
Yeah, it was a long night. I think we finished around one-ish,
Oh
something
my
like
goodness.
that. But the weather was good, so I'm not complaining about anything.
That's awesome. I'm up here in Prescott and it's been raining like crazy and I checked the weather
Um,
down there and I'm like, uh-oh, uh-oh. It was looking from here on the weather reports, it was looking kind of scary.
yeah, I mean, as of like last week, there was like an 80% chance of rain in that area,
Oh,
but things shifted during the week, so it was good. So yeah.
that's perfect. I'm glad to hear
Yep.
that.
Yep.
So this is how I had the fortunate, occurrence of being able to meet you on set and watch you work. Beans, I'm not quite sure. I probably should check with Jeff to see how much we can disclose about this series. Can you elaborate? Do you feel comfortable doing that?
Sure. I mean, Beans is a basically we shot a pilot, 30-minute pilot, and the idea is to kind of shop the pilot around to see if it could get picked up for development as a series, um, whether it's a streaming platform or I don't know, maybe something online. But I know Jeffrey and Vincent are working on the Bible right now that kind of shows the different characters that would be appearing in the episodes and then what kind of happens in the episodes. We actually cram a lot of things into this first 30-minute pilot, but I think it was necessary to kind of give people a good feel for the characters and what they can expect in future episodes if this were to get picked up. But without giving too much away, it's kind of like I know their tagline is like Friends meets Cheers, and it definitely has that kind of vibe. But
Mhm.
I think after shooting this, there's definitely a lot more dramatic elements than you would normally see in your typical sitcom. So I think that will kind of make it stand apart.
Gotcha. That makes sense. And what I really enjoyed about the set is the set felt that way as well. You really did have, that Friends Cheers vibe to it. Everyone was very friendly, helpful, and of course there was coffee there, so that was wonderful.
Yeah, that kept everyone going. I told this to Jeffrey and Vincent, and I shared this with Patrick. So Patrick's part of our producing team, Pack Productions. I was like, we both been on plenty of sets, from feature films to short films, and as ambitious as this project was, this was probably one of the best, if not the best set I've been on in terms of things flowing very naturally. We had great performances. Aside from the weather kind of like, stirring things up at the end of the day two, this was actually a really good shoot. It was a fun shoot, fun people to be around. So I think it was a great experience for everybody that was there.
Yeah, flow really did. That's a really good word to use to describe it. And that's really how you caught my eye, as just as how things change once you get in the setting and filming and everything. And something would kind of, there'd be a little bit of a problem or something like that, and I would just sit there and watch you, and you just watching your brain turn, and just suddenly it was like, bam, bam, let's try this, let's try this. And it
Mhm.
was just like, wow. And then I'd peek over someone's shoulder looking at the screen, and it was just amazing. It was awesome. So
Yeah.
good work there. But
Thanks.
let's jump into your background if you don't mind.
Sure.
So you said that you started filmmaking in 2004. What did that look like? Like, how did you get into that?
Well, I actually got into it through my day job, which I still currently have, which was creating training videos. Not the sexiest job, at the time, but it got me involved in video editing. And I remember putting my first film together, which was a silent film. I think that's usually most people's first film because they no one wants to deal with audio. So it was a short film I put together for a show that was on, I think it was on HBO or Showtime called Project Greenlight that Matt Damon and Ben Affleck put together. So I was like, I'm going to put this in, see if I get picked. And I didn't get picked. But the concept, like the story was good, but I think I still had a lot to learn as a filmmaker on a technical aspect. So ever since then, I've just been creating short films for film challenges, my own personal projects. I've worked with other people where I was producing their projects. Most of the time, if it's my project, so my Flicks of Fury imprint, that's something where I write and direct. So I definitely have a different style when it comes to my particular films. I lean more towards horror, sci-fi, and action. But I've worked with other people on their films as well, producing some of their stuff where I'm either behind the camera or there are times where I'm acting on someone else's project, which is a nice change because I will say I do love the kind of adrenaline rush I get being on the production side behind the camera, filming, and then the post production of editing. It is definitely stressful. So it's nice being on a set and just having to act and let other people deal with the problems and things that, like weather, that come up.
Yeah, yeah. That's funny that you say that because I know, like, personally, I get more stressed out being in front of the camera.
Mm.
Just get in my head. But a lot of times behind the scene, I don't have, the huge responsibilities like you do. So it's really enjoyable. Kind of, I like describing my role as being the fly on the wall whenever if I can get to be on set somewhere. So that's really enjoyable. I just want to say that's awesome how, where it seemed like even in the beginning, you were really putting yourself out there for those projects that came along. Is that something that you've always done in other areas of your life, or is it just something like you really are driven for this, or how does that look for you?
No, I gotta say, like prior to getting involved with film, I was actually kind of shy to a point. So kind of getting in front of the camera kind of got me over that shyness to where I became more forthcoming, expressing my views or going after something if I wanted it, opportunities. So I think it's definitely something that's helped me um, outside of the film world
Yeah.
because even when I go to, say, networking events, when I first started out, I'd be like terrified. Like, I'm like, I don't know who to talk to. I don't know anybody here. Whereas now it's like, there's just, I don't know if this is the right word, like confidence in myself, but it's just like, I'm just going to go, I'm going to meet people. I'm going to ask them what to do, get some information, give them my information. And it's just like, see what kind of connections you can make. And for me, the big thing is, there's lots of filmmakers here, whether we're talking about in front of the camera or behind the camera. So for me, a big thing is how finding those people that I connect with if you take the
Mm,
film aspect out. So if we could have a
yeah.
connection and we're not working on a film, then I think that would be a good kind of connection to work with someone on a film because we have a commonality in different things, the way we think maybe. Or maybe it's something where we don't necessarily think alike, which is fine, but it's still kind of complementary to where, if I think a certain way and this person thinks another way, it's refreshing to have that different kind of perspective or viewpoint, even if I don't agree with it, because
Hmm.
I get really tired with if people like patronize me or tell me I'm good at something,
Hmm.
which it's nice to hear, but I'd rather hear people tell me what I need to work on. And that doesn't mean you got to be rude about it, but I appreciate someone at least saying, hey, you did great here, but I think this could have been done better. And sometimes they'll have a point, and I won't realize it until someone else tells me because I'm too close to the project to see what I could have done differently or done better.
Yeah, that's a really important point to make. I think, a lot of us, it's real easy to get caught up in, am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? Looking for like the positive affirmations. but really the growth comes in that outside view and someone stepping in and saying, hey, why don't you try it this way, or I'm kind of seeing it differently. And that really does help you grow, and I think that shows in your work, and like being able to do so many different things and adapt to it and work so well with people. So that's a really
Hmm.
good point for people trying to get into it. Be open to that. And just like in the acting world, if and everything in filmmaking, if you don't get picked for the project, number one, you can always learn something from it, and it might just be that you're just not the right fit for the project as well. So don't always take rejection as you weren't good enough. So but always look at those angles that you can improve and grow and bring more to your, I guess, tool bag. So that's a great
Yeah,
point for everyone watching.
yeah,
um,
definitely.
you mentioned in the bio that you sent over that, writing and directing is kind of more of your favorite thing. Is there something that you're working on right now, or is there something you really want to sink your teeth into?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of things that I'm working on. I mean, right now, it's for me, it has to have a purpose. So I've done like film challenges, which are fun, but now it's like I need to,
Like
I
the
want,
48-hour ones, or like
yeah,
film
I mean,
them,
and
or
those are fun on occasion, but it's like I really want to start making things, whether it's a short film. I haven't done a feature film yet, but even when I make my first feature film, I don't want to just make something. That's why I haven't just thrown something together, because everyone keeps asking me, when are you doing your feature film? I'll make it when it's ready. But I don't want to just throw stuff out there, because I look at it as it, like, film for me is very personal. So it's like if my name's attached to it, that's my reputation. So it's like if I put out a bad film or a bad product, then people will associate that with me. So right now, I think I have a pretty good reputation where people associate me with, he does some good stuff, and sometimes you may not even know what you're going to get. Like, you might be surprised, and I love that. Doesn't mean you're gonna love it. You can't please everybody, and I don't try to please everybody. So I think when you do that, that's when the storytelling process gets altered. So I want to, I'm good at certain things, and I want to kind of stay true to that. But the aside from beans, it's I have a short film that I'm working on with Patrick, who worked on beans as well. This is going to be an action film, but it does kind of have my signature kind of couple of twists in it. But the weird thing with this is this story was built around a fight scene. It's like I really want to do a fight scene, and I basically built this story around a fight scene happening. The fight scene is really short, but it's like it's important
the
to
pivotal
the
piece,
story.
yeah.
Yeah. And then have another project, a sitcom type of project that I'll be working on with Patrick, which is going to be really, really different for me to do. And then we're seriously starting to think about, if we did do a feature, what it would look like.
Mm.
Um,
Starting
there's
to
a
let
couple
it
different,
simmer on the back burner there a little bit.
yeah. I mean, there's a couple of different things. I mean, right now the what's kind of in our like on our radar is a Western.
Mm.
Um, because Westerns are easy to do, but because it's me, it's like I just can't do a Western. It's like, what can I do that's going to make it different than any other Western that's been out there? So for me, it's like that's where we make our mark. Because for me, it's like I look at when I do films, like, if this is the last film I'm ever going to make. So how do I want people to
Mm.
remember me based on this film? So I may only be able to make one feature film. So I want to make sure, love it or hate it, people will remember it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm excited, and there's a bunch of people that jumped on here. I want to say thank you for taking the time and joining us live. And if anyone's got any questions, I'm trying to go through. My contacts are driving me nuts right now, so I'm trying to see. Looks like everyone's just saying hi and what's up, Ruben? Oh, hey, Craig. My sweetie pie's on here. Got to give a shout out, and everyone that's on there. Does anyone have any questions? What's going on, or questions about filmmaking in general? I don't see anyone jumping on with questions. I do. What is a role in particular, as far as, are you looking to do anything specific in acting as well? Or is it like you said, it's just kind of a break for you here and there in between working on your other roles?
No, I do love acting. I mean, the action film I'm working on, I'm actually acting in that one. and Patrick is directing. That's going to be his first time he's directing
Ooh,
that
awesome.
project. So,
David's jumping in. David, who's in
yeah.
Beans, he's asking. He's like, "Who's going to be
Who's
in the
going to be in
action
that
show?"
action? Well, right now it's a very, because the story is very unique. There's only two characters, so right now it's going to be me and Mackenzie Jones. Some people may know who that is. That she's a very talented actress here in Arizona. So she's going to be working with me on that. We've actually been getting together. I think we've gotten together like 4 times to work on fight choreography.
Oh, I've seen that. That's what that's about. Okay, I've seen the doing the work. Yep.
Yeah, we'll get together again this weekend. We shoot it September 10th, but it's going to be a really unique kind of action film, and I hope to do more because I got other action ideas. So if anyone out there is has some fighting ability or can take a punch, then
I've taken a few punches. I don't know if I
yeah,
want to take any more.
hit me up. We'll see if we can get you in the film. But in terms of acting, like, I mean, I love being in other people's projects. But for me, I mean, I would, if I had like a dream role, I would love a villain. I know there are some people who are like, they want to be the hero or this. I would love to be, I think I would be an awesome villain. So if anyone's looking for a badass, and I got the look too, because, you know, I'm getting up there in years. So the wrinkles kind of add to that villainy kind of look. So I got that going for me.
I don't know about your wrinkles, but definitely go to his page, check it out, and he'll show off his physique there for you for your those
Yes.
fight scenes. That's for sure. That's awesome. Yeah, David's like, put me in, coach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've worked with David Rice on a few projects. He was part of Beans as well, so you'll see him whenever we have a kind of a premiere or if they have that at festivals. But yeah, I mean, I've been in this business for a long time here in Arizona, and I gotta say the quality has just gotten better and better in terms of quality of films, the quality of actors too. I mean, I remember starting out, you know, back then I thought the acting was really good, but it's gotten so much better now. So, and you have so many people like to pull from. So I definitely go out to those networking events, those mixers, make contacts, make friends. It's always good to have people, whether it's in front of the camera, or behind the camera. But you know, I love the film community out here because everyone tries to help everybody out, regardless of what it is. So I think that's probably the only way we're going to kind of stay afloat and try to catch up to those other, you know, places like LA and New York who are just operating on a completely different level. But that doesn't mean we can't get there at some point.
Yeah, and I mean with that the new bill and everything going through and the you know production studio, that's I don't know if it broke
Yeah.
ground or about to or they're waiting on all of
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it's and I was very impressed. Like I just got to Arizona and you know trying to kind of meet people here and there just a little bit and I feel like I've been welcomed very quickly and I've been on
Mhm.
two sets since I've got here and yeah, the quality of the acting and the production and everything involved, I was like, whoa, okay, this is pretty awesome. So I was very
Mhm.
impressed with that all the way around. That's for sure. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's and you know, I think we're so close to LA and New Mexico and bringing in the talent. I think it's really helped
Yep.
influence that. Um, my friend here is saying, please ask about how important the development of one's creative eye through still photography translates into motion pictures. So do you feel that that's an important thing or how can it translate into that?
I think it's really important. I actually do photography as well. So I think if you're a storyteller, especially if you want to be, say, a director of photography or work behind the camera, it's all about composition. You want to be able to tell things in a engaging way. Now, when you go to watch movies, that's not real life. So you can't film things like real life. You have to film angles that are unique, things that you would, it's almost like if you imagine, if you can remember when you have dreams, your dreams are usually more imaginative than when your eyes are open and when you're seeing stuff because you're seeing angles. Sometimes you might be watching yourself and it's like an out of body experience, but you got a really good view of it and it's a nice angle. So I think it's having photography skills that helps with composition first of all, but then you got the technical aspect of it because, it's you can't just turn a camera on and expect to get a great image. And I don't care how you could have the most expensive camera out there because I know there's a lot of people out there who are like, well, I just got to get the best camera. I got to get me a Red camera. I got to get me an Alexa camera. Great cameras. If you don't know how to use it, the footage is going to look like crap. So I don't worry too much about the type of gear. I always feel like knowledge and skill will trump gear any time of the day. So
Yeah.
if you understand the tools that you're working with and you understand the limitations, then you can apply that to anything, whether we're talking about photography, film. You just got to know how to make the most out of what you got.
That's perfect. He says, thank you. Thank you, Ruben, for asking that question. I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah.
Awesome. So where can people go? Where's the best place to find more about your work and the things that you're working on? Where would you like them to go check you out at?
I mean, they can find stuff on Instagram. Find me on Instagram. I can never remember my name. I think it's Angel Ruiz Director. I think
It is.
that's what
Yeah.
Instagram is. And I think it's the same thing on Facebook. So I post a lot of things on Facebook. I utilize both. From what I hear, the younger kids use Instagram more than Facebook, but I'm on both of them. So if anyone wants to reach out to me, if say you're an actor or actress and you maybe want to work on future projects, send me a message. If you got a reel I can check out, that'd be awesome. Because we're always looking for new talent. If you want to crew with us on one of our next projects, let us know too. Let us know if you have any certain skills. And then if you just have a project that you want to produce, like speaking of a project like David, who's in Beans, he actually writes as well. So he acts and he writes. So he just wrote a kind of a short film and he reached out to us. And so we're going to produce that for him at some point. We haven't locked down a time yet, but we'll be producing that probably pretty soon. But if you have something that you'd like to get produced, reach out to us. Doesn't mean we'll do everything, but I will say this: for us, it's all about quality. So we put the time in to make sure whatever we put together looks great. It looks like film. It looks cinematic, and it is as perfect as it can be. So if that's what you're looking for, you can reach out to me, and then we can take it from there.
Awesome. Sounds great. A lot of things I like to do on the show are to encourage the people that might be sitting on their hands or a little bit too shy, a little bit afraid to really jump into the things that they, want to get into. Is there any bit of advice that you like to share with, whether it be an actor, writer, director, anyone in the filmmaking industry? What's your tip for them?
Well, besides just jumping in the projects, I think it's really just kind of, observing. We're lucky we're in a time where we have like YouTube and you can Google so many different things. So if you want to learn about acting, but let's say you don't necessarily want to take acting classes, or maybe you don't have the money to take acting classes. And I'm not even saying you need to take acting classes to act, but I mean, just watch films. I've never taken any acting classes. I've never taken any film school classes. So everything that I've learned is just watching other people, watching things online, or just doing it and then learning from my mistakes. I always feel you learn the most from your mistakes than things that go right. So don't be afraid to make those mistakes. Don't be afraid of failure, because that's when you discover the opportunities to improve yourself and make yourself better. So dive into things and then reach out to people. You'd be surprised. There's a lot of people who would be very welcoming, even if you just wanted to be on a set, just to see, hey, I'm thinking about acting. I'm thinking about being part of a crew. Can I just, hang out on the set? I would be totally willing to let you hang on a set, but I'd probably give you something to do. Maybe I'll have you shoot like BTS shots or something like that. So we'll give you like a little job, but at least you can get to see how everything kind of functions, because it's really unique when you're on a film set to see how everything kind of fits together and then seeing the final product when it's done.
Yes, yes. And thank you so much for allowing me to be on that set. Vincent and Jeff let me be there, and Cameron for introducing me to you guys. So thank you so much. It's exactly like you said, you know, and the more the time that you spend on set, you pick up the little things that you may not even understand you're picking up, but you're picking up terminology and stuff like that. So and you're wonderful to be around and learn from while on set. So thank you for that.
Thank
And for
you.
those tuning in, also there's going to be more from the cast and production crew of Beans coming up. We've got Vincent later this week. He's the director. He also acts in it. And Jeffrey sometime. That's going to be determined because he's not on Instagram. So that'll probably have to be an in-person one. And then we have Keeley and we have Joshua. We have a bunch more that aren't really, I don't think, set in stone all the way yet. So watch for those as well. It's just been an amazing cast and crew. And thank you so much, Angel. Is there anything else that you would like to share with everyone joining us today?
I think that's it, other than keep your eyes posted for more updates on Beans. I'm sure we'll obviously have a premiere for like cast and crew, but we may have a premiere for, you know, other people to check it out and see what it is. Like I said, the actors that were on there were top notch, like some of the best actors. Most of them were local. There were a couple that were out of state, but most of them were local, and it was just phenomenal. So if you want to check out kind of a funny sitcom with some dramatic elements, keep your eyes posted for more about Beans and when it's going to be available to view to the public.
Yes, yes. And yes, just do that. It was amazing watching everyone work. So yes, please do that. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you everyone for watching. And if anyone does have a question, go ahead and send it to me or Angel. We'd love to, if something jumps in your head after, please do so. And thank you and have a good night, everyone.
Thanks, guys.